Pinkalicious and the Cupcake Calamity. This is a beginning reading one. I can read book. Let's get to looking. There we go. Pinkalicious and the Cupcake Calamity. One Sunday morning, we saw a huge crowd outside Mr. Swizzle's ice cream shop. I stopped to see what was happening. "Step right up, folks," Mr. Swizzle called. Behind him was a pink curtain. "Prepare your taste buds," said Mr. Swizzle. "Dessert is about to be served." He lifted the curtain. The crowd gasped. Right in front of me was the biggest, fanciest machine in the world. Lights were flashing. Gears were turning. It hummed, buzzed, and beeped. Beep, beep. Hum. Buzz. Buzz, hum, hum, beep, beep. "Behold," said Mr. Swizzle, "my cupcake create-o-matic. Just add $1 and your cupcake will bake right on the spot." I couldn't wait to try it. "Me first," I said. I ran to the machine and put in my $1. I chose a strawberry cupcake with pink frosting and pink sprinkles. I pressed the green button. Nothing happened. "Bake," I said, pressing again, but no cupcake came out. "Let me try," said Allison. One after the other, people put their money in, but nothing came out. "What's going on here?" The crowd began to grumble. People were getting upset. So was I. I wanted my cupcake. "I'm so sorry," said Mr. Swizzle. "Let me get the owner's guide. I'll have this fixed in a jiffy." I couldn't wait that long. I wanted a pink cupcake. I thought. I looked hard at the machine. I walked around to the back. There was a little door, big enough to squeeze through, so I did. The cupcake create-o-matic was amazing inside. Mixing bowls whirred as batter stirred. Sprinkles and frosting drizzled everywhere. I started poking around. The batter was blending nicely. It tasted good too. There were belts full of cupcake wrappers, all ready to be filled. I swapped out the plain ones for ones with polka dots. Then I saw that only half of the machine was working. The mixers weren't pouring batter into the wrappers. There must be a power switch in here somewhere, I said to myself. I looked up, and there it was. The switch was way up at the top of the machine. I climbed all the way there. "It's cupcake time," I said, as I flipped it on. The cupcake create-o-matic started rumbling right away. In fact, it started rattling. Then it started shaking. "Uh-oh," I said. The machine started filling up with batter. "I want to eat a cupcake," I said, "not be a cupcake." Something was definitely wrong. The machine shook from side to side. The walls were starting to crack. "What is going on?" I cried. Boom! The next thing I knew, I was outside again. The walls of the machine had fallen down around me. I was sitting on top of the world's biggest cupcake. "Pinkalicious!" cried Mr. Swizzle. "What are you doing up there? Are you okay?" I blinked. I smiled. "Yes, I am perfect. In fact, I couldn't be better," I said. The crowd roared with laughter. Mr. Swizzle looked relieved. "Dig in, everyone," he said. Everyone loved the giant treat. "Sorry about your machine," I told Mr. Swizzle. "That's okay, Pinkalicious," he said. "From now on, I'll stick to ice cream and leave the cupcakes to you." All right, so this is told from the perspective of... What's her name? She doesn't have a name? You can tell that she doesn't have a name because she doesn't have a name. Her name's Pinkalicious. All right, so Pinkalicious is the bad guy in this book. You didn't know that, but Pinkalicious single-handedly destroys this entrepreneur's expansion to another front. So let's look at a few things that Pinkalicious did that were particularly wrong. First off, Pinkalicious gets swept up in this marketing scheme. Pink cupcake, oh, I need that. That looks awesome. Let me have some. So then, you'll see what she says. Just add $1. She says, I couldn't wait to try it. Me first, I said. Does that sound like somebody that's a good person that pushes themselves first? She put in her $1. It didn't work. She pressed the green button. She yelled at it. She says, bake, I said. Pressing again. Nothing came out. Everyone else tried. Everyone wanted to get, people were getting upset. Look at her face. Does that look like a good guy's face? No, she's the villain. So then the owner comes out. Now, do you think that the cupcake machine is free? That the cupcake Create-O-Matic was free? Does that look like a free machine? No. So the owner comes up with a responsible idea. He says, let me get the owner's guide and I'll have this fixed in a jiffy. He goes and he gets tools to fix it, right? Meanwhile, this little devil is like, I couldn't wait for him to fix it. I wanted a pink cupcake. So she's not being patient at all. She says that she sneaks around, she breaks in to the factory here. She sneaks in there, and then she starts trespassing on somebody else's property in a place that she shouldn't be. It's dangerous in there. There's like gears and stuff, right? So she shouldn't be there. She's clearly trespassing and causing problems for this poor entrepreneur who is named Mr. Swizzle. And she even says, I started poking around. She's like, wow, this place is really cool. And she starts touching everything. She's sticking her dirty, nasty kid fingers in the batter so that everyone else can get her sick germs. This is not good. Then she starts switching stuff out. She says she swapped out the plain ones for ones with polka dots. She just started messing it up. Then she sees what she thinks is the problem, and she looks and she just says, oh, look, that must be the power switch. Let me just start pulling this thing, and the only way I'm going to pull it is by climbing up on the equipment to damage everything. And then, guess what happens when this little mischievous demon starts touching things? The whole thing starts shaking, rumbling, and then the whole thing explodes, right? The walls are cracking. It's going so poorly. And this guy's poor cupcake factory just is demolished. Look at all these. You got some cogs, you got some springs, and you've got gears. Everything has just come apart, and the whole thing is destroyed. But luckily, she hasn't died, and she just says, it says that the crowd roared with laughter, and then they all just have one big cupcake. But this man's career is ruined, right? In this story, she says, oh, he just laughed about it. But he didn't laugh about it because he worked hard for it. He worked hard on the cupcake Create-O-Matic on this book. So this book is absolutely awful, all right? Do not be Pinkalicious. First of all, she's rude. She pushes to the front of the line. She can't wait her turn. Then she is gluttonous. She can't wait to have her cupcake. So she climbs in, she breaks and enters, goes into the machine, destroys this machine that cost a lot of money and took a lot of time for this entrepreneur to expand his business. He's an ice cream man. He's already known for being a good ice cream man. And now she's gonna destroy his cupcake Create-O-Matic. And when he's trying to expand, this little kid, not like my kids. My kids are good. The only thing she did was going in and seeing if she could fix it, which is fine if it's yours. If it's not yours, stay away from it. Property rights, kids. I love you, and I hope that you learned something from that lesson, from that story. That's not the lesson they wanted you to teach, which is just, cupcakes are fine. She doesn't need no stinking cupcakes. Sugar-filled death donuts.